Step ups with hip flexion. You can see with this exercise, and whatever platform you're using, whatever height you're using, and whether you're alternating with each leg, each step, or if you're just repeating the same leg over and over, the form is the same. Let's go over it. You're placing your foot so it's absolutely straight forward. The toes are not turned out at all. Think about your middle toes pointing forward. And then my knee, where my knee is bent here, it's right over the midline of my foot. And it's going to stay there as I step up, bringing this opposite knee up to a hip hike here, and then coming back down. So you're just balancing on that one leg the whole time through the step up. Toes forward, knee over the foot through the motion, the way up and down. I'm making sure that my knee stays right over that foot. It's not collapsing in, and if it is, we're working to keep the knee out over the foot. If it's collapsing out, we're working to keep it in, so it's right over the foot. Also keep an eye on your hips here. When you step up, you don't want to be hiking your hips up on one side. You want to keep them level. Same thing when you're coming back down. We have a tendency to want to drop that hip, and actually gets us to reach our foot closer to the floor, so we get to the floor sooner there. You want to try to actually keep your hips level. You can do that by putting your fingertips on your hip bones here, these bony protrusions right here, and use a mirror. And you can see if one of your fingers is dropping below the other, you're reaching that hip. You want to keep them level as you step down, which might mean that you're going to feel that knee, the standing knee, bend a little bit more than you're used to getting you down to the ground. But then you know you kept your hips level and therefore kept your spine from getting out of neutrality there. You want to keep your spine neutral by keeping the hips level there. So our feet are straight forward, knee over the foot, and hips are level through the motion so that our spine can also remain nice and neutral. If it helps to think about engagement of the glute, if you need to engage the glute more, think about pulling your hips up to the ceiling, like someone tied strings to your hips and they're pulling you up from your hips there, or pulling you up from there. That's where your primary driver to get your glute activation will be. If you've been instructed to try and get a little more quad activation, you can think about trying to push down into the step. Pushing down into the step will get that quad activated a bit more and make it a little bit more of a quad dominant step up there. So stick to the instruction you've been given and stick to the form that will keep you safe.